Good day students, welcome to zoology class. Hope all of you are fine. Today in continuation to my presentations on animal tissue, this is my second presentation. In my first presentation, I talked about epithelial tissue, and in today's presentation on animal tissues, I will talk about the muscular tissue. So this is the second presentation on animal tissues. So muscular tissue. What is muscular tissue? Muscles are the muscular tissue, and muscles are made up of highly specialized, thin and elongated cells, and they are called as muscle fibers. So it means muscles are the muscular tissue is made up of thin and elongated cells which are called as muscle fibers. So muscular tissue is made up of cells which are called muscle fibers, and the muscle fibers contain specialized cytoplasm called sarcoplasm, and which contains a network of the membrane called sarcoplasmic reticulum. And the muscle fibers may be bounded by the cell membrane called sarcolemma, and each muscle fiber may contain numerous longitudinal fibers called myofibrils. So this is muscular tissue. That muscular tissue, like all other tissues, is also made up of cells, and the cells of the muscular tissue are called as the muscle fibers. And these cells are the muscle fibers. They have the cytoplasm which is called as sarcoplasm, and in the cytoplasm there is a network of membranes which is known as sarcoplasmic reticulum, and the cell membrane of the muscle fiber is known as the sarcolemma, and each muscle fiber or each cell of the muscular tissue is made up of many longitudinal fibrils, and each fibril is known as myofibrils. It means that each muscle fiber is made up of many myofibrils. So this is about the introduction of the muscular tissue. And what is the basic physiological property of the muscle tissue or the muscular tissue? The properties of muscular tissues are contractibility, excitability, extensibility, and elasticity. So these are the four properties of the muscular tissue. That is, muscles can contract, muscles can excite, they are extensible, and they show elasticity. So these are the four properties of the muscle cells or the muscle tissue. And for the sake of study, we divide the muscular tissue in three types. And there are three types of muscles on the basis of the structure and function, and they are skeletal muscle, smooth muscle, and the cardiac muscle. These are the three types of the muscles. So we will study each type of muscle one by one. So first of all, it is skeletal muscle. So this skeletal muscle, it acquires its name as the skeletal muscle because most of the muscles involved are attached to the skeleton and they make it move. So these types of the muscles, they are known as skeletal muscles because they are attached to the skeleton, and skeleton moves because of the skeletal muscles. And these skeletal muscles, they are the main types of the muscles, and they are also known as striated muscles because the cell fibers, the cells are the muscle fibers of the skeletal muscle. They are composed of light and dark bands. So each cell fiber or the muscle fiber of the skeletal muscle tissue, it shows stripes. There are present light bands and dark bands, and it gives the appearance of stripes. So this is also known as striated muscle, and this muscle is under our control, so it is also known as voluntary muscle. So skeletal muscle is also known as striated muscle, and it can also be called as the voluntary muscle. So this is a diagram showing the structure of the skeletal muscle, and this shows the dark bands and light bands, alternate dark and light bands, dark band, light band, dark band, light band, and then again dark band. And so this is the structure of the skeletal muscle, and we shall study its structure in detail in the coming slides. So this skeletal muscle, it is composed of muscle fibers, and each muscle fiber or the each cell of this skeletal muscle is long, cylindrical shaped with numerous nuclei. So each muscle fiber of the skeletal muscle tissue has numerous nuclei, and each muscle fiber is long and cylindrical, and each fiber is 1.2 inch long and 0.004 inch in diameter. So this is the longest fiber, and longest fiber is the sartorius muscle, 12 inch long, and shortest fiber is the stapedius muscle, which is 0.04 inch long. So this is the dimension of the muscle fiber of the skeletal tissue, and each muscle fiber contains numerous myofibrils. So each skeletal muscle is composed of many fibers, that is cell fibers are the muscle fibers, and again each muscle fiber contains numerous myofibrils which are made of thick and thin threads. So it gives the appearance of the stripes, that is why they are known as the striated muscles. And this thick myofilament is composed of larger protein, thick protein, which is known as myosin, and the thin myofilament is composed of smaller protein, which is known as actin, which gives the appearance of the light band. And when we view this muscle under light microscope, skeletal muscle or a skeletal tissue shows a pattern of alternating light and dark bands, and the bands are caused by the arrangement of these actin and myosin proteins. These are the proteins, then they form the myofilaments. So actin and myosin proteins, they form the myofilaments in the muscle fiber, and their arrangement is alternating: actin filament, myosin filament, actin filament, myosin filament. And this alternating pattern of light and dark band is because of these two proteins, that is actin protein and myosin proteins. Actin protein gives the light appearance and myosin proteins gives the dark band appearance. And overlapping of thick myosin and actin myofilaments produce dark A band, that is anisotropic, which does not allow light to pass. And thin actin myofilament alone produces light I band, isotropic band. I means isotropic, A means anisotropic. And this I band allows light to pass. And cutting across each I band is a dark Z line. Within A band is a somewhat light H line or the H zone, which is Hansen's disk, which consists of only myosin filament. And the area between two Z lines is known as the sarcomere. And sarcomere is a fundamental contractile unit of the myofibril. So this is the structure of the myofibril, which will be explained more by the help of the diagram. So this diagram shows the structure of the skeletal muscle in detail. So if we talk about one myofibril, you see here, so this is the myofibril and this is the muscle fiber, and this muscle fiber, that is a cell of the skeletal tissue, this one muscle fiber, it contains many myofibrils. And if we see one myofibril, then we see that it shows the alternating band, dark band, light band, dark band, light band. This is the alternate position of the bands, that is the light band, dark band, light band, dark band. And if we see this thing in detail, then we see that this is the light band, this is the dark band, this is the light band, then again here will be dark band. So this is the part of the myofibril which shows the sarcomere. I told you that sarcomere is the basic unit for the contraction of the skeletal muscle. And as I already told you that this light band from here to here, this light band, it is known as I band. I means isotropic, and through which light can pass. And this I band, it has only actin filaments. It contains actin protein. And then comes the dark band, and this is known as A band. From here to here, this is the A band. A means anisotropic, through which light cannot pass because it is dark. And A band has both actin and the myosin proteins, or the actin and myosin filaments are present in this A band. That is why it appears dark. So now you know that light band has only actin filaments and dark band has both actin and myosin filaments. And if we talk about the I band, that is a light band, there is seen a one dark line in the center of the light band. This is known as Z line. So this Z line appears dark because this is a membrane to which actin filaments are attached on both sides, because here it is actin filament, here it is actin filament. Where two actin filaments they join, this is the dark appearance, and this is known as the Z line. So in the dark band, that is the A band, there is a light line in the center of the dark band. This is known as H line. H line means Hansen's disk. And why this is light in between the dark band? Because it has only myosin filaments and actin filaments are present in this line. So from one Z to other Z, so one Z to next Z, this portion is known as one sarcomere, which is the main contractile unit. So here one sarcomere is seen. So this is the Z line. So Z line is the dark line in the center of the light band, because here the actin filaments meet. So this is a Z line, this is a Z line. So this is the in between the light band, this is I band, and this is the A band. A band is dark because it contains both the actin filaments and the myosin filaments. And in the center of the dark filament, this is the H line. It is light because here only myosin filaments are present and actin filaments are up to this point. So this is the structure of the skeletal muscles. I think you have understood about the detailed structure of the skeletal muscle. So what are the functions of the skeletal muscles? As I told you that it is voluntary in function, it is under our control, and they bring about the movement of organs and locomotion of the body, because we can move our organs and we can move our body according to our will. And skeletal muscles undergo powerful and rapid contractions with short rest periods, and hence they get fatigued easily. So skeletal muscles show powerful and fast contractions. So there is no rest period, there are short rest periods, and they get fatigued very easily. That is why we feel tired very easily. And these skeletal muscles, they are supplied by voluntary nervous system, that is a CNS, central nervous system, and PNS, periphery nervous system. So this is supplied by the voluntary nervous system. So these muscles are under our control and they require large amount of energy. So are supplied with blood vessels and numerous elongated mitochondria and glycogen granules. So these types of muscles, that is the skeletal muscles, they need large amount of energy and they are found attached to head, trunk and limbs, that is the hands and the legs. Also in the body wall, then they are present in the tongue, they are present in the pharynx and esophagus. So these types of muscles are present in these organs and they are voluntary in function, they are under our control. So this is about the skeletal muscle. Second type of muscle is the smooth muscle. So it gets its name, that is the smooth muscle, because it is not striated. It appears smooth under the microscope and it is also called as the involuntary muscle because it is not under our control but it is controlled by the autonomous nervous system, that is ANS. And this is the diagram showing the smooth muscles, that it has elongated cells with a nucleus in the center of the cells and no light and dark bands are seen in this muscle. So these are also called as smooth muscles and they are involuntary muscles. So smooth muscle fiber is long but not as long as skeletal muscle fiber, and they are spindle shaped and slender and they contain only one nucleus, and nucleus is situated at the center of the fiber at the broadest part. And smooth muscle fiber is enclosed by sarcolemma, that is the name of the cell membrane is a sarcolemma, and it contains numerous longitudinal myofibrils like the skeletal muscle fiber. And actin and myosin filaments within myofibrils are very thin and they are arranged more randomly than in skeletal muscles. So no stripes are seen in smooth muscles, and there are two main characteristics of the smooth muscles, that is its contraction and relaxation period are very slow, they are slower, and its action is rhythmical, that is they contract then relax, then contract then relax, there is rhythm, and its contraction may last for 30 seconds or more, but it does not get tired easily, and such sustained contraction pulls the ability to stretch and make it suitable to muscular control of stomach, intestine, urinary bladder and uterus. So these types of muscles are present in stomach, intestine, urinary bladder and uterus, and their contraction is rhythmical, and so they are not tired easily because contraction and relaxation period is very slow in case of the smooth muscle fiber. So this is about the second type of muscle, that is the smooth muscle fiber. Next comes the cardiac muscle, and this is the third type of the muscle, and this is named as skeletal muscles. This is known as a cardiac muscle, and as the name indicates, this muscle is present only in the heart because the word cardiac is related to the heart. So cardiac muscles is present only in heart, and these show this type of cells, and these cell fibrils or myofibrils, they are attached to each other with the help of the intercalated disc. So all the cells are interconnected in cardiac muscle. So in cardiac muscle, if we see it under the microscope, they are similar to striation as the skeletal muscles. So these cardiac muscles also show striation like the skeletal muscles, and cardiac muscle cells are closely packed, but each cell is nucleated and separated from each other, and the cells are joined end to end by the specialized cell junction, and those cell junctions are known as intercalated discs that attach one cell to another with desmosomes, and they connect the myofibril filaments of adjacent cells and contain gap junctions also that help to synchronize the contraction of the cardiac muscle by allowing the impulse to transmit from one cell to another. So, the intercalated discs are present to synchronize the contraction of the cardiac muscle by allowing the impulse to transmit from one cell to other. And these cardiac muscles also contain light and dark band. Light band is I band and dark band is A band. And the intercalated disc always occur at the location of the Z line. And where Z line is present? Z line is present in the light band, I band, through which light can pass, and supplied with central and autonomous nervous system. And so cardiac muscle is supplied with central and autonomous nervous system, and the rhythmic contraction is on its own because we cannot control it, and they do not get fatigued, so they are called as fatigueless muscle. That is why the heart keeps on working throughout life, because these muscles are the heart muscles, do not get fatigued easily, and so they are known as the fatigueless muscles. So these are the three types of the muscles in muscular tissue. So this cardiac muscle is present only in the heart, and this is fatigueless muscle, and cardiac muscles are myogenic. Myogenic means the contractions are generated within the muscles and they do not have to be initiated by the nervous system. So in cardiac muscles, the contractions are generated within the muscles, and interconnection between the fibers, they ensure a rapid and uniform spread of excitation, and the chambers of heart contract as a whole because of these cardiac muscles. And cardiac muscles have, I told you, rhythmical contractions and relaxations, and so they do not get fatigued. So this is about the different types of muscular tissues. That is, muscular tissue is made up of three types of muscles. That is the skeletal muscle or the striated muscles, then smooth muscles, and then cardiac muscles. So this is all about the muscular tissue. So today we have talked about muscular tissue. We have studied about the different types of the muscular tissues. Now, I have already sent you study material about the muscular tissue. Now, you have to prepare notes by combining the material of both the presentation as well as the study material. And if you find any difficulty, you can consult me anytime for any query. Thank you.